Alrighty, folks. Looks like we're going live here. It seems to be an error with Twitter, so sorry for that error for a moment there. I'm trying to connect to Twitter, but there seems to be a problem doing so at the moment. I know Twitter had some issues earlier today. Dylan, I see. Is there any way to... Hopefully it's not something wrong with the YouTube stream over there, cutting you off. You could put the rest of that question in for me, please. So folks, open live forum here for you. Get those questions in if you have any. As per usual, I don't have any pre-done content, so rely on you folks to drive the content of this with your questions. Of course, as per usual, if nobody has any questions, I'll do my best to keep this relevant and informative to the market, and particularly Trade Idea software. Edwin, happy Monday. No way to get alerts on the long-term Holly. You just have to have that window open. And that's all there is to that. Really, all long-term Holly is doing is tracking prior intraday Holly alerts that have continued to stay in the money. Can I show how broker integration works? Yeah, absolutely. So it comes through what we call our Brokerage Plus interface. It'll look something like this. Mine is, I've got it set to what I want to see here for these columns and some other things that I've done in here. But this is the overall interface look. And then you'd connect a broker here. There's Alpaca, Paper and Live, E-Trade Live, Interactive Brokers. You can connect Interactive Brokers, Paper or Live. And then we have our own paper trader here. So you'd go ahead and you'd click the broker that you're looking to connect to. You hit connect. You'll see this bar go green. It'll say brokers 1 of 5. If you connect multiple brokers, you can do that. It'll say brokers 2 of 5, 3 of 5, so on and so forth. Then once you've connected to the broker, you want to make sure that you have the account selected down here, because you could have multiple accounts in one broker, right? So it's a broker connect and then an account connect. And that's the short and skinny of it from there. Then you've got an order entry panel down here. It'll work like an order entry panel, basically anywhere else out there in the world, essentially. And as I, click on things here through my scans, you'll see those tickers load into the order entry box here. And, I can share size accordingly how I want. I have this defaulted to always go to buy. I got to click sell if I want sell. I can set it so it's neutral. You pick our limit, market order, so on and so forth. And then you'd send the order afterwards. And that's, that's the very basic short and skinny of the connection. If you have other specific questions on it, of course, I'm more than happy to answer those. And you're welcome, Dylan. Sorry, I can't give you a... I'm sure you'd rather heard there's a way to get the alerts on Holly, and I always hate when I tell people we don't have something they're looking for. Can you connect to Thinkorswim? We can externally link to it, meaning that if you click on a stock in one of your scanners, it could send it to their charts or their order entry panel, but you can't trade directly to Thinkorswim. Just the brokers you see here listed: Alpaca, E-Trade, and IB. That's it. Is there a formula editor to allow to filter for stocks with a day high and low within yesterday high and lows? I'm not really following, Pablo. Yeah, you're very welcome. If you have other, Ishar, if you have other questions as far as the software, the brokerage plus interface goes, don't be shy. Get those in here for me. I'm more than happy to answer those. You tried connecting through a video. You tried connecting what through a video? Um, what did you try to connect, Edwin? If you could elaborate a little bit for me, please. Thinkorswim. So to externally link to Thinkorswim, you have to right-click Thinkorswim, select Run as Administrator. Then you must right-click Trade Ideas, select Run as Administrator. If you don't do those things, it's not going to work. That's the first and foremost. Then you would build the link, Tools, External Linking, Add Link, hover the cursor over the order entry box or over the chart and press Shift. And that's it for Thinkorswim. Don't do anything else afterwards. Once you've done that, click back. Once you've done that, you've added the link, you've set it all up. Click back into the order entry box or the chart that you were linking to, because Thinkorswim, if you click anything inside Thinkorswim, once you build the connection, it takes the focus away from that window and the copy paste won't send to that window. I use Thinkorswim every day since 2018. So, and I do mean every day. So I know it works. Right. I understand you want the formula editor, but I'm not really understanding what you're looking for from the formula editor. If it's not working, Edwin, you missed one of those steps then, but it without a question works. I mean, I can demonstrate it in a moment here. I can't, give me a second here. Put you guys on another screen for a second, just so I can demonstrate that this without a question works. I can't do it from this screen. So bear with me 1 second. You guys lost my screen on purpose, so just bear with me while I log into Thinkorswim. And let me find that. Perhaps you have a different video. Now, some people get a runaway effect with Thinkorswim, and they have to check the use alternate method. But those seem to be rare cases now. It was happening a lot more a few years ago. I'm not sure what Thinkorswim did. Just bear with me. All right, I can bring my screen back. Can I bring my screen back up here? No. I'll bring the screen over here up. While I wait for Thinkorswim to do its thing. Sorry, I have to, whenever I stream, I have to close all broker connections because it just puts my computer to a complete halt. So hopefully that will not happen when I do this now. Just bear with me while I load everything up. Filter for stocks with today high and low price within yesterday high and low price. Do we have yesterday's high and yesterday's lows as data points? I don't know all the data points off the top of my head. So bear with me. Today high, today low. I think we have it. So I think it might be possible. It might be possible, but it would take some trial and error. I mean, are you familiar with the formula editor and how it works? All right. How many updates could there be since this morning for Thinkorswim? My goodness. Holly's looking for stuff that's really moving for the most part. And, there are some, you're not usually going to find anything above $100 getting alerted from Holly. So that's, one of the other big things. No, you'd have to do something like today's high less than yesterday's high and today's low higher than or greater than less than yesterday's low or greater than yesterday's low. You'd have to make it a true false statement like that and then use a one for in the filter itself to make to look for where it's true in the statement. So that's how that would work. Um, Remember, you have to work with the data points and use use C operators. You can't just make anything up. Okay, we're logging into Thinkorswim now. But I don't know exactly how it would go. I'd have to play with the formula editor for a little bit to figure it out. I'm not the greatest with custom formulas. I understand a little more than the basics at this point, but I'm not by any stretch of any imagination a custom formula expert. Um, how do I put this in privacy mode? Man. Surely there must be a way to do this. All right, hold on. And don't call me Shirley. And for now, keep the questions coming. Nope, there's no way to put Holly into Brokerage Plus. There's just the AI strategy trades window and the AI strategy window, but nothing to put in the Brokerage Plus regarding Holly. And then as far as the formula editor goes, if you send us an email to info@trade-ideas.com, what you're looking for with the formula editor, I'll work on it in my spare time. If we get dead air on this, we can work on it live here, but you're gonna have to bear with me on that one because it's gonna be some trial and error and troubleshooting with that. Um, there's only one person to ask for custom formulas, and it's me. And if you're looking to do something extra complicated, that's going to be on user responsibility. We don't have someone that's just dedicated to building out custom formulas for individuals for any thoughts and ideas that they have. All right. Apparently, you can't hide your account numbers anymore in Thinkorswim. I haven't had to do this in a long time. This is rather unfortunate. Okay, what's my next step to do this, to show this then? This is frustrating. Nope, even that shows my account number. This is stupid. Why would they not let me hide my account number? All right, this is going to be a bust. Click on options, buying power. You cannot change it on the you can't change the times on those races. You can only change your own race times within the download software. Yeah, no, even when I do that, it's still showing the account at the top. Ah, there we go. That was an extra step I had to do there. Interesting. Okay, now I'm in business here. There's a lot of hoopla to do that. All right, let's stop the share. Let's go back. Awful lot here. Now, so there's Thinkorswim. Where's my menu bar and trade ideas? There it is. So let's go new. No, let's not go new. Go tools, external linking, add link. I'm gonna hover it here, shift. We're good to go. We're good to go. Click in there and voila. And as you can see, we're changing charts. So it definitely works. I don't know what step you could be missing there. That was having trouble. Edwin, right? Was having trouble. So just make sure that's what you're doing, right? Add link, hover it where you're trying to get it to, press shift, press OK. And then that's it. And then click back into the box again. Because like watch this. If I click here, it's not going to work now. I lied. Look at that. Did they change that? There we go. See how it stopped working when I clicked on the chart because now the focus was taken out of that field there. So it's really important to do that. So that's the short and skinny. Hopefully that helped, Edwin. I'm going to leave Thinkorswim open for now. I'm going to delete the link. I'm surprised I'm not locking up yet. I guess that's good. Put that back and put this back. So yeah, as far as the races go, you can change your race if you right click, or if you, let me duplicate this really quick. I don't want to stop it. Duplicate the free floating window. So if you have a race and you stop it within the software, then right click, go to race setup. You can change the duration there, but you can't change it on the market dashboard page, the 360 page. That was for Raj to just circle back on that. Got that. Hey, I'm new to trading. Get me in. What would be best for me to start learning? Come here every day at noon and go to our free live traders room every single day. Ask questions, take notes. Do not, I repeat, do not trade with live money so you can make money with fake money. If you can't make money paper trading, you can't make it with real money. So, save yourself the heartache that I didn't save myself, to say the least. I'm going to get you a link for the traders room. It's a 100% free traders room. It's free to anybody. You don't need any subscription to anything, just an email. You don't need to put in credit card information or anything like that. And then I would also suggest, Dale, on YouTube, look up like candlestick charting, start to try to learn indicators. Probably the easiest, best indicators to start with would be, let's say, SMAs, a simple moving average. Maybe you want to look at some RSI, but I would, take small bites, right? Don't try to learn 10 indicators at once. Simple moving averages, they're wonderful. They work for a great large many technical traders. There are other types of moving averages out there, but I think it's always best to start with popular things that are a little more simplistic. That's just my personal 2 cents on that. So those are the things that I'd point you to, Dale. And then understand this, something I would tell anybody is that trading is not a job. Trading is a profession. It's a business, right? So, I used to tease and say, if you want a job, McDonald's was hiring, you can sweep their floors anytime. If you want to be a trader, you got to think of it as a business, right? And when you want to open a business, how do you do that, right? You want to open a new restaurant, you need to borrow a few $1 million from the bank. You go to the bank, you say, hey, bank, I've got this great idea for a restaurant. And they'll say, great, what's your business plan? And if you don't have a business plan, they're not giving you a penny, right? That's how that works. Well, in this case, you are not only the one that wants to open the business, but you're the bank too, because you got to give yourself the money to trade with. And your business plan is your trading plan, meaning I get into trades because of XYZ. I manage trades based on XYZ for a stop loss. I manage it XYZ for my upside target or my upside management. And if you don't have those things in place, you're a business without a plan. And Iris, can I create a scan of bullish 3 candle reversals? I like, you want to see 3 candles down in a row, and now the current candle is moving up. Is that what you're looking for? Pepe, gotcha, covered there on the. Yeah, I knew it was going to be in that ballpark. Thanks, Pepe. Hey, sorry, but for some reason my YouTube was stopped. Are you trying to link multiple things? Do you have other softwares running? I can promise you that it works. So there's going to be something on your end blocking it in that case. If you're trying to link multiple things, we can't account for how other softwares are going to impact each other. We can account mostly for our software. Well, we can count all for our software. We can't account for third-party softwares. And on top of that, linking is a one-sided effort. We link to Thinkorswim. They don't know that we do it. There's no help from them or anything like that. So, Thinkorswim doesn't work for everybody? That's wild. I've always been able to get people linked with Thinkorswim eventually. The one that's the toughest is DOS or DAS or however anybody wants to call that. Um, wow, Thinkorswim doesn't work for you? And are you linking to anything else? Because I have found when people link to like 3, 4 different things, the order in which they build the links will impact it. So they usually I tell them whatever link isn't working, build that link first. Hmm. Couple of years. All right, well, you guys got me stumped then. I've never been able to not get someone linked before, so I see this as a great challenge. Why are most Holly strategies below $100? Um, I would say that filters for stocks above $100 aren't really being met. I know that there's some kind of upside cap on it. I don't know if it's $200 or $250, but for those stocks that are above $100 but are under the cap, it's simply just not being met. At its core, Holly's an alert window. It's the most simplistic core. It's an alert window with filters and an alert set in there. And so if something, stocks aren't meeting those filter sets, then that's that. Interesting. All right. I have to circle back on this one because I don't like to be defeated. And then Iris, 3 candle. You have any other criteria in there? I'll make something and share it with you. So consecutive. I mean, what consecutive? What time frame are these candles? Are they 1 minute, 2 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute, 15 minute, 60 minutes daily? Wow, this really sucks that I can't connect with Twitter. One other thing I could think of with the linking is don't have overlapping windows. Don't let Thinkorswim overlap with any TI windows. I know that has been an issue for folks in the past with linking in general. No, there's no alerts, nothing scheduled to be added to the alerts or filters at this time. I mean, if you're talking about these in here, there's nothing on the board to be added at this time. This data set is what we have and what we will continue to have for now. Again, Iris, if you got a time frame on those candles, man, that's really gonna get me. Where the heck is that thing? So I'm gonna do that again. We have tools, options. Oops, not options. Tools, external linking, add link, hover, shift. Okay. Click in there again. Look, now it's fighting me. There we go. What happens if I do add that? Use alternative. The use alternative method actually does work for me. Yes, what, Iris? It wasn't a yes or no question. What time frame from the consecutive filter candles that we have, consecutive candle filters, which time frame? It's a number, the answer, not a yes or a no. I'm at a real loss here. 15 minutes. Very good. Drop it out of the way. 15 minutes. New alert window. Consecutive. 15 minutes. Add. Now remember, this is going to be down candles, not red candles. So it's got to be, whoops, -3. That's what I want, right? Show that down to more than 3. Sorry, nope, -3. Okay. I'm going to put a $5 floor on this. We're going to say 1 million for a minimum amount of shares traded. And now we're going to say, let's use some bullish alerts. Running up, running up, running up. Add you, you. Let's use a 5-minute high too. And let's go change. Oh, we'll say in the last 2 minutes. Add that filter. That's got to be 0.5% up. All right, there you go. And thank you kindly for sharing that for Pablo Pepe. Appreciate that. You do better with Holly or your own alert windows? Which do you more of, and which work better for you? My own windows. You know, I'm very, very picky in what I trade, and not all Holly alerts. There's a lot of Holly alerts that don't fit into what I will do. I don't like things that are really wild and jumping all over the place for the most part. So, like for an example, MLYS, not my cup of tea today. Not that I will never trade things like this, but you know, when we got stuff with these topping shadows like that, I tend to shy away from that. I don't like to be the person that buys those shadows. So, you know, and Holly has a lot of stuff that looks like that very often. You know, I'll miss some stuff with her, but also, you know, I just don't like when things are really all over the place. There's also times where some of the Holly alerts, you know, they have high relative volume, but they don't have a ton of shares actually traded. So I shy away from those as well. Like, you know, something like this, and just, you know, not my cup of tea to trade. Edwin, I'm gonna have to do some research over here because I don't like to be defeated. You and Pepe telling me it's not working. I'm gonna have to work on something here. But I will not be defeated on getting this link going for the two of you. Or I won't accept defeat anyways. Trying to think what the heck could be blocking. You're welcome, Iris. How do I know which sector is doing well? I have a sector analysis list here. So I've got it sorted on change from close, percent as the display sort. And I also looking at 5-day change here and the position and range over here for the year. Sorry. That's how I know. I do have I was able to get it to work. Wait, what did you get to work? Um, MT, I can share this list with you if you want. Happy to share it with you. I'll put it in here anyways. Take it or not take it. That's up to you, of course. Analysis. Wow, you got all right. All right. I wonder what was blocking you before. Yeah. Huh. That's if you want their MT, that's a sec or for anybody that wants. That's my sector analysis list here. It's got a pre-made ETF sector list that it's attached to, so it's only watching the stocks on that. That's it. It was a dance I had to do. Yeah, no, I know Thinkorswim can be one of the more pain in the neck ones for sure. Um, the hardest usually is DAS for whatever reason. I'm a power user. I would so I don't know that I'm necessarily a power user, but you know, there are few that know the software as well as I do. And I'm happy to share anything you want or help you build something out outside of if you're trying to build an automated strategy. I mean, I'd still like to build an automated strategy for me. So, but one of the better places to hang if you're not already is the traders room, right? So again, here's a link to the traders room, and you can, obviously you could head there now if you wanted, but you could head there after we wrap up here around 1 o'clock. And there are some users over there, at least there used to be, that they'll help out. They have some stuff they share. Plus, Barry is an absolute power user, and he shares all of his scans. And you can find the link to those scans in the room over there. Hey, I got one Twitter account to connect. Still working on the second one. I know Twitter was down earlier today, so. Okay, interesting. So added the rule, removed the rule, disable, re-enable, and it worked. My name, I'm Chris. And no apologies. I don't think I have anything up here that states that I'm Chris, to be honest. So I don't think there's any way to really know that. You are very welcome. And so I don't, Edwin, if you're still hanging here, I don't know if you saw what Pepe just wrote, how he was able to like trick it into working. Maybe you can give that a shot for the external linking there with Thinkorswim. We'll tell you this. Where am I looking? That PTGX, that was a Holly alert. That would be more in my realm of things. That consolidation and then breakout up here. That would have been more in my wheelhouse, but I was not watching that today. What else was going on today? Yeah, like this right here, even though it's for my own scan, not my cup of tea. Those big topping shadows like that, I just tend to stay away from stuff like that when that's happening with the stock. Let's kind of stop now. We look through this last set of 5-minute bars here, candles, whatever. This could be interesting if it got if it could take out the VWAP again. Looking at this here, I could get up and through that VWAP. That might be interesting, actually. I use the software to generate ideas, through my scans, and I formulate my own entries and exits. Like nothing that comes through a scan for me is an automatic entry whatsoever. I watch things, my general, as far as my day trading goes, I watch this race here, and when I can day trade, I just can't day trade all the time anymore. When I can day trade, I'll start setting price alerts, right click and set a price alert based on some areas that I have some interest in, and I'll track stocks that way. And then should I get in, my intraday stops usually, if it isn't a stock that gapped way up, I use a lot of low of the day for my intraday stops. If it's something that has gapped way up, I will use a couple of prior bars behind, look for where it looks like prices stalled, support and resistance. So for example, let's just pretend that this took out VWAP and started to move up. That $3 obviously level has been a bear for this stock, and I'd probably have a stop hanging around $3. Should I get in that if it was up above the VWAP and didn't just take off on me? I do use for sometimes a stop an 8 EMA, a rising 8 EMA, or the VWAP as well for exits to the downside for my stops. As far as the upside goes, I'll have an area looking back on a daily chart usually, or an intraday chart, where I'll say, all right, that's a tentative target, but my stops are hard. My targets are never hard. If, let's say, for example, let's just say, pretend for 1 second on this stock here, I took it at $3. Let's pretend for 1 second. And I had a target up here of 350, and it starts stalling out at 330, and it just can't get through that 330. Well, I'm gonna close that trade. I'm not hanging around. I'm not married to it, and should it continue to move without me, that's fine. But I locked in my money and I moved on. So, that's what I'm doing. My swing trading is a lot different. Not a lot different, but it's definitely different than that. I use what's called a multi-period 20 for my low, and I don't like to enter anything that's too far from that. So, for example, not SPT, SPY. Oh my God, come on. So hold on, let me get rid of this AVWAP because that's in my way. So like this line here that you see that looks kind of like steps going up, and then it'll become steps coming down when trends down. That's a line that I use for a lot of my swing trading. And when there becomes too much separation between the low point of the current line and price, that's a no-no for my entries. Edwin, shoot me an email so that I can keep you at the forefront of my brain on this. About the linking. Shoot me an email to there. This way I don't lose track of it. And let me see what I can come up with for you when we're not in the live stream here. The other thing that I like to do both intraday and swing trade wise, I like to draw lines. Like, so for example, today I happen to notice this So let me see where we're at with today's current low on this. So I drew a line. I shot an arrow in the air. Where it lands, I know not where. And so I drew this line here, and lo and behold, what do I see? And what does everybody else see here? Look at that. Got up here, rejected. Got up here, rejected. Got up here, came back and almost tested it. Off. Didn't quite get down there. Back up. Back down here again. So in full confession, I'm looking to nibble at the SPY around this area right now. But this is not like just a swing trade. This may be something I hold for a long time. I have a core position in the SPY that I keep, period, and I reinvest the dividend. I don't touch it. But I'm going to add to that without any question, likely this week. Because, you know, an all right sell-off, and I'm not looking to touch this position probably for the next 10, 15 plus years. So if the SPY isn't above this level in 15 years from now, there are a lot more problems in the stock market going on in this world. All right, perfect, Edwin. I'll keep that at the forefront. Appreciate that. So, you know, long-term wise, I'm looking here. I'm also thinking maybe short-term wise, you know, it's a good sell-off here. We could go more. So that's why my short-term wise, I'm looking, but I don't know that I'll add a actual swing trade position off the SPY from here. I'm never a fan of when someone's like, oh, you know, the sell-off's overdone, or, you know, we're due for a pullback and crap like that. Like those cliches, we're not due for anything. Nothing is ever overdone. It is what it is, and it will do what it will do. And that's, you know, the bottom line as far as that stuff goes. You know, as the saying goes, the market can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. And that includes the U is royal. So that includes me. So I don't mess around with like, oh, well, you know, we're down all these days in a row. We're due for a bounce. We're not due for anything. We're not due for a bounce. We're not due for a sell-off. We're due for whatever the market, the heaviest market participants dictate we're going to do. But, you know, I want to look for areas where there's some possible support logically that could come in for any period of time. Now, let's just say, you know, we look at this area here and we hang here. We don't take this out tomorrow. We kind of hang here for a day or two, right? And then we start to move up a little bit. Well, you know, maybe I grab something up here, and then if I ride it back up towards that 590 level and I dropped out after that, if it gets a little weak there, all right, you know, an okay trade, right? Because I'm looking at that 595, 600 level right now, that it's a real challenge for the SPY. You know, and then you try to look to other levels to the downside if this ain't working out here, you know, and especially let's use the picture-in-picture chart real quick. You know, I'm only looking at a 27-day look back, but let's look at a year, right? You know, we can see we're still up 10% over the last, you know, year to year right now, from this point last year to now. And I can start to look to other levels, you know. This looks like another level down here. That was a level of interest. And I suspect, come on. You know, I suspect that if I were to scroll back some, you know, all right, fight me. See what I care. You know, we can see here, you're trending up, didn't quite get there, but not far off getting rejected before towing the line here and coming up and down and up and down on that line, right? So just another area that my eye kind of gravitates to as far as price action. Which line am I using? We have a drawing tool over here. So if you have the browser interface checked on your chart, you find the drawing tool over here. If you don't have the browser interface checked on your chart looks like this instead. You can either right click and use the markup for a horizontal line, or you can use this pencil to draw horizontal trend lines like that. Different drawing tools based on the version of the chart you're using essentially. And then if you're talking about this here, if you're talking about this drawing tool here that I'm drawing the pink with, that's Epic Pen. I'm just using a free version of Epic Pen. If you do a web search on it, you'd find it. This here. And a couple more minutes before I wrap things up here. So if anybody has any more questions for me currently, don't be shy. Get those questions in, please. If not, so be it. I'm curious. My position and lifetime range scanner. Let's take a look at some of the stocks that are coming through this year that are at or beyond. Machinery and farm equipment, pharmaceutical, CME Group, interesting. BJ's Wholesale Club. Very positive reaction to earnings from there. You know, it's funny. People think, oh, you know, trade war and tariffs and all that, the market's down. But if you look at the stocks that are like down the most, they don't really have anything to do with trade war, tariffs, or anything like that. I find that to be very interesting. Pharmaceutical prep notes up at a lifetime high. KR, Kroger, very interesting. So 2 grocery stores in here. And McDonald's also, look at that. McDonald's snuggled right up on all-time highs here. Again, a couple more minutes before I wrap up here, folks. So anybody with questions, speak now or hold your peace until tomorrow, or email in. Or you can always go to Barry in the room, of course, too. IBM sitting up here near all-time highs. And look at the low volatility fund for S&P 500. Look at that. So, you know, this is very similar to some of the stuff we saw when the bear market in, what was it, 2021 or 2022 when that bear market started. This is some similar stuff we saw to that, where we saw value and low beta stuff was the last to get hit. And they remained strong for a while going into that. So we've got that here. We look at high beta. Anything high beta I know is definitely down. But look at this low beta. Almost sitting right up there at all-time highs. Ain't that something? IBM sitting here at all-time highs. Procter & Gamble, not far off all-time highs. Coca-Cola, not far off all-time highs. So interesting. Are these things gonna, you know, keep the market from really moving down, and then we'll get a recovery in the things that have really sold off, or are these going to be the last ones that get hit? That's a question to ask yourself, right? Again, a few minutes before I wrap up here for the day, folks. So don't sleep on it if you got questions. Cisco Systems, interesting look. The line that I'm using is our drawing tool here. It's just over here. You click line and you can draw a line. There's some other options. You click the little widget here for the lines. There's a number of different things you can do there. So that's all it is. Yeah, I shared it previously. Bear with me. I'll look for that again. It was one of the links I shared before, but hold on. There you go. That's the sector scan there. And so it's just looking at a pre-made list of sector ETFs that I put together. And I put it as a shareable list. TJ Maxx. And here's your high dividend S&P 500 fund. Not sitting too far off an all-time high right there as well. That black line, that's a multi-period low with a 20 for the period. So if you right click, go to indicators, look for multi-period low. And if you set that to 20, you'll get what I have here. You have to make the color black if you want it black. That's what that line is. So I've just found, the low period over 20 days, which is about a trading month, 20 market days, tends to be a good guide for momentum for me on the longer term time frame. Just a personal preference, nothing special about it. I just happened to notice it one day with if you were to go into properties and I think smart risk level, see on smart risk level here and see that swing exit. I don't know why the swing exit looks to be way down here, but this is the swing exit line right here. You'll see it coincides with the multi-period low, but I don't like all this other stuff on my chart here. I like pretty plain Jane charts. And so that's why I use that filter or use that indicator. There we go. How is it lifetime high? I used a filter. I used the lifetime high filter. So you go to configure and you go to Windows specific. Well, you could look it up you got to look it up first. Position in lifetime range, right? And so I added that filter and I set it to its minimum of 85. And it's got to be 85% above the low, which would be the same as 15% off the highs. And then I told this, there's other things I did in the scan here too. I said, I want to see stocks. They got to be $8 above. Relative volume's got to be 1, and they have to have traded at least 1 million shares on the day. And then I server sort it by the position in lifetime range. So the ones that are the closest, or the ones that are highest in their lifetime range, they will come onto the scan first. And then I display sort it. That's this here. And I want to see the ones that are highest up at the top and the ones that are lowest at the bottom. So that's what I did there. And I can share this with you if you want. Give me a second here. Let me find a link for it. It's for anybody that wants this scan. You can take it, make it your own, however you want to do that. I only use it on a daily chart. You could use it on any chart you want, that multi-period low. I just like it on a daily chart personally. I don't use it on an intraday chart. So, all right, I'm going to make a last call for questions here before I wrap up for the day. So anybody, with any questions at all. Don't be shy. All right. I'm giving the auctioneer's count in my head, going once, going twice, going three times. So if no other questions are coming in, as I count that off in my head, I will retire from this for the day. I do thank you all for joining. Appreciate the questions, the interactions. I'm glad I could see at least one person get the Thinkorswim worked out there. I'll see what I can figure through on my end here over the next little bit here there, Edwin, if you're still with me, and respond to you. Yes, the line on the chart. Yes, yes. Again, Jason, right click your chart, indicators, look for multi-period low. All right, click on that. Set that to a 20. It should automatically be set to a 20, and then press add. And that's it. And you'll get it on your chart. That's what it is. Multi-period low as the indicator. 20 is the period. I'm using a daily chart, and that's it. You too, Pepe. Thank you very much. Appreciate you always being here. So, Jason, you just confirm that you got that down now, and then I can wrap up for the day here. All right, perfect. Glad we got you sorted with that. So, all right, folks, thank you all very much. Appreciate you coming in, hanging out. All right, I guess, actually, last parting shot here. If anybody's not a subscriber, and you decide to become a subscriber, all capital letters TI Chris will get you 15% off your first month or year should you decide to subscribe. All right. Thank you very kindly, everybody. And again, make sure you're trading your plan for the week, right? Don't go running after anything foolishly as we trade below that line I was talking about on the SPY now, real quick before I go, just in case. We're starting to drop below that line right now. So be safe out there. Be safe out there, everybody. All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.